Hello, this is Mike Grady, and in this video, we're going to talk about the throwing schedule and where we are at right now, and what we should be doing throwing volume wise, and then where we are headed. So, first of all, right now, we just finished week 3, and we are headed to week 4. So, we just basically got done with today's Monday, doing a movement day for most of our athletes this week. We had 2 movement days on the schedule this week, and everybody correctly defined a movement day as throwing at about 80% effort and about 60 throws total. And so the effort came up a little bit from recovery from 60 to 80%, and the volume came up from recovery as well. So we may be feeling a little bit sore after going through the movement day. And so, depending on how the arm feels, will kind of depend on the volume this week. So, if we moved up to a movement day and are feeling a little bit sluggish and a little bit sore, we may want to consider backing off a little bit and making sure that we don't do another movement day before we're recovered to 100%. So, remember, everybody recovers differently. Everybody's on a little bit different schedule. If you're playing basketball and you're lifting and you're doing a lot of these things, you need to consider more recovery and not less. If we go with less recovery, then it's going to be a drag on your arm and you're not going to feel good when you throw. And so maybe we add in some off days. So remember, the throwing master schedule is just that. It's the master schedule, but it's not your schedule. Down here is where you want to write in exactly what you've done on the days. And if you write in an additional off day or two because you need it, please do that. It's better to take a day off than to continue to throw through sluggishness. And we especially don't want to throw through pain. So please continue telling us how your arm feels on that QR code. But please know if you are feeling any pain or discomfort while you're throwing, please let one of the coaches know. Don't just throw through the pain and then tell us afterwards. Please tell us as you're throwing. We'll adjust your throwing schedule or shut you down. Remember, number one is that we get you through this program healthy. So diving into the movement day a little bit more. So as we scroll down, you're going to see a lot of info about the movement day routine. And so you can see the warm-up routine, which is the same warm-up routine that we're doing on the floor. And so that should be becoming more familiar. We see the plyo ball routine, so that should be becoming more familiar in terms of what the drills are, how to do the drills, what balls we're using, and the effort that we're doing those. So remember, plyo balls are mainly warm-up. And then you see the recovery routine. And again, we've changed the recovery routines on the floor. So when you're on your own at home, do the recovery exercises that you like best, and that's totally fine. And then we get down to the throwing program details of a movement day. So on the floor, there was catch play, there was some shuffle throws, and there was throwing from the mound. However, at home, maybe we are going to spend our movement day throwing into a plyo wall, which is fine. Maybe we're going to go to a facility and do some of the pull downs, shuffle the feet. Here's how to do that here in terms of where you throw the ball, those things. And then finally, maybe you're going to be down the mound. And it says here, consider throwing at 50 feet just to help manage your effort. You do not have to be at 60 feet on all the throws. So how you go through your movement day and what you do, whether it's a shuffle throw, whether it's a plyo work, you're going to spend those 60 throws throwing plyos, or you're going to do a throwing from the mound. It kind of depends on the facility that you're at and what you're feeling like doing that day. But overall, the goal is to throw about 60 throws, 2 sets of 30, have that break in between. If we start getting fatigued, back it off and sit at around 80% of total effort. And how that should feel easy. That should feel fluid. It should feel smooth. It should feel like the arm is along for the ride. All right. And so I think all of our athletes had a great experience in terms of kind of learning and feeling what a movement day felt like. So we're going to basically be repeating the same schedule into week 4 of our on-ramp. And then we're heading into week 5, which is the first time we're going to ramp up to 100%. And now, not everybody may be at 100%. It does depend on how you feel and if you feel like you're ready for that. So we can move a testing week into week 6, just depending on how you feel. So we're going to have conversations with all the athletes. We want to make sure everybody's arms are feeling good. We're ready to go. We've been rating our arm health as 8, 9, or 10. If we've been down in that 5, 6, or 7 range, we're going to talk about moving that testing week to make sure that you're 100% ready to do that. We would not want to be throwing and trying to throw hard for the first time and not feeling fresh and strong. So everybody's schedule may look a little bit different, but that will be the testing week, and we're going to do that from the mound. Last year, our testing was a little bit more focused on a pull down, but this year we're much more mound focused. And then during the velocity phase of the program, which we're heading into here in a couple weeks, we're going to see a mix of our shuffle throws, our high intent throws, off the mound, and some will be on the mound. So knowing how your arm is feeling and having that feedback is going to be super, super important. We may adjust some of those days, and it may be simple enough as, maybe you had a basketball game the night before and you're just feeling a little bit worn down. We're not going to want to do a velocity day and ramp you way up if you're not feeling 100%. So this is where we get into a lot of customization, which is what we want as we go into that velocity phase. So hopefully this video kind of helps understand where we're at on the throwing schedule. I know our strength coaches have been talking to the athletes about the strength schedule, and so look for a video shortly to go over the details of the strength program and where we should be and just some important things to know. But as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any coach on the floor.